Well, what a season he's had. Brown goes inside. Oh, what a slam from
The Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure. So the ball is out in the end zone. And it's
Wheeler finds Claude from the logo.
Edelman in motion. Edelman takes the swing pass. Edelman's going to throw. He's knocking it wide open. Amendola. Touchdown.
Welcome back, everyone, to our final NFL video of the 2024-2025 season. We are down to the final 2 teams, our Super Bowl prediction video, and this one is not exactly the matchup that everyone wanted, but this is the matchup that we ended up with, a rematch of 2 years ago, Eagles and Chiefs. So, I'm going to talk a little bit before I actually make my pick, because we do have a lot to talk about, and there are only 2 teams left, so we can spend a little more time on them. We have the Eagles, who are a lot different than they were 2 years ago. Their passing game has a lot of the same people, but they don't rely on it like they used to. They still have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, and it actually looked pretty good last week against Washington. They made the right passes at the right time, and they did not make really any mistakes or bad turnovers, which is really what has helped them throughout this postseason. But, of course, it's Saquon Barkley, their running game, that has been the difference maker all season and all postseason, having huge touchdown runs pretty much every game. So, he is the X factor on that team. The O-line is looking great, as always. And now we have the Chiefs, who everyone kind of thought they were a vulnerable team this year. They went 15-1, or actually 15-2 technically. They went 15-1 with the starters playing, and they won a lot of really close games, and some of them were somewhat controversial depending on who you cheer for. But here they are again in the Super Bowl, 3 years in a row. Can they make history with the three-peat? So I have a few different scenarios that I'm going to run through, and then I'll tell you which one I think is actually going to happen. So I think scenario number 1, this is the best case scenario for the Eagles to win. First of all, they need to keep the game close or have a lead in the first half, because if they have to start off the game down 10, down 14, that's going to give them less time to get the running game going. They're probably going to rush things, and their running game is their strength. And then it's going to put more pressure on Jalen Hurts. So they really need to start. They need to start by keeping the Chiefs' offense in check, hold them to 3 points here, 3 points there, keep that pressure on them. And then if they can control the time of possession with their run game and get quality points out of it, touchdown here, field goal there, then that's going to put them in the best position to win the game in the second half. So I think that's kind of their best case scenario. And I started thinking, the Chiefs have only lost 1 Super Bowl with Mahomes. That was against the Buccaneers. Now, the Eagles have no way of getting Tom Brady onto the field offensively. But defensively, what did the Buccaneers do? Because the Chiefs only scored like 9 points that game. Mahomes, on every single play, was running about 20 yards just to buy enough time to throw the ball. And the downfield coverage was outstanding, even when he was able to get the pass away. So they need to be able to create instant pressure on Mahomes, and the cornerbacks and safeties down the field need to be able to stay on the Chiefs' wide receivers in order to break up any pass attempts. So that's scenario number 1. Yeah, so that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, which I don't really think is going to happen, but I was trying to think of a team that kind of has a similar play style to the Eagles this year, and in Super Bowl history, the closest I could actually come up with was it wasn't perfect, but it was a similar comparison. A few years ago, quite a few years ago now, there was a team that offensively was pretty good. Defensively, they weren't as good as the Chiefs are this year, but they were more of a bend but don't break defense. And a lot of people thought they were going to win the Super Bowl that year. We thought it would be a good game, but we counted on their experience. We thought they were going to win. And they played a very young team with a great running back and a great defense and pretty good special teams, and they got destroyed. And that would be the Seahawks and Broncos Super Bowl. Young quarterback with Russell Wilson, who didn't really even throw the ball that much because most of their points came from their defense, special teams, and run game. That's the closest comparison. I don't think it's a likely scenario that type of thing happens in the Super Bowl. I really don't. Most of the Chiefs games that they've ever played in with Mahomes have been like one-score games that they've lost. I don't think that's going to happen, but surprises do happen sometimes in the NFL. Now, how do the Chiefs win? Well, really, I think a way they can win is going to be very similar to the past couple years. Second quarter, third quarter, they start to kick things into gear, and then fourth quarter, Mahomes does his thing. He's able to buy time, makes the right decisions, doesn't throw interceptions. Chiefs are able to force some late turnovers. They do have a really good defense this year, and their pass rush, if they can get to Jalen Hurts and make him make mistakes, then that's really a good way that they can win this game. I don't know how much you can stop Saquon, but if they're able to slow him down at all, that will help. Maybe they won't be able to stop him completely. If they can find a way to stop those 60-yard touchdown runs, then that's going to make that Eagles team really earn their yardage a little bit more out on the field. And I think the more times that Jalen Hurts has the ball in his hands, the better chance he has of turning the ball over. So if they can somehow find a way to stuff Saquon, that's going to help them a lot. We've already seen the Chiefs win 3 Super Bowls. See if they can make it 3 in a row here. Now, I have never bet against Mahomes in the Super Bowl aside from the time that they played the Buccaneers. That was pretty much my only rule. Never bet against them unless Brady's on the field, because then I never bet against him. I've been picking the Chiefs all season long. I never picked against them one time, aside from when they had the backups in. They only lost that one other game. I have not really picked against them ever in the playoffs. Last year, this year, when they played the Bills, I picked the Chiefs, and they just keep winning. For me, at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to. Who do I trust more? Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, or Mahomes and Andy Reid? I know the Eagles have Saquon. I understand all of that, and he is their X factor. And I think if they do win the Super Bowl, it'll be because of them. But I'm picking, and pretty confident, that the Chiefs are going to win their 3rd Super Bowl in a row. And that is my pick for the Super Bowl.
I have picked against the Chiefs in the Bills game. I picked against them twice. I never trust them, really, and they still win. But I'm going to pick against them again because I just don't think they're going to stop Saquon. That's pretty much how it comes down to. I just don't think they're going to stop him. He's just going to will the Eagles to the Super Bowl win. I'm picking the Eagles.
You're picking the Eagles even though you dislike them?
What kind of final score do you think it's going to be?
Like 30-27.
So you think it's going to hit the over?
Yes.
A lot of people are picking the under for this game. Defensive matchup. I also think it's going to hit the over. I agree with you there. I think the Chiefs are going to win 31-17.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to be that close.
The Eagles, on paper, are a better team. Their defense has been very, very good, especially in the red zone. They don't allow you into the end zone that much. Their running game has been elite this year. Jalen Hurts has not turned the ball over as much as he has in the past. And so the Eagles should win this game. Kansas City has Patrick Mahomes. I think, contrary to you guys, I think that if the game is close, Kansas City's going to win this game. And I think, because they always do, they win the close games. You give Patrick Mahomes the ball at the end of the game, he's going to score. So, I think the only way the Eagles win this is if they beat them badly. And I don't see that really happening. With Spagnuolo, he has been a great defensive coordinator, and I think he will slow Barkley down. I think he'll have a scheme or to decide here. But I just can't pick against Patrick Mahomes. I did once, and that was against Buffalo, because I thought Buffalo would win that game. And they really should have. But they didn't perform at the end when they had to. But even if they had gone down and scored, they would have left time on the clock for Patrick Mahomes. So I am going to go on the record and guarantee a Kansas City three-peat. And I think, though, I'm going with the under. Because I think both defenses are very good. And I don't think they're going to put up a lot of points. I think it's going to be a maybe 24-20 or 21-17 type of game. I think Kansas City's only hit 30 points once in the playoffs, right? Both defenses are very, very good. So I think it's going to be a close game, which plays into Kansas City's hands. We're going to see history made tomorrow. Hey, everyone, here is our special guest going to make her official debut here on our NFL podcast, and she's going to pick her team that she wants to win the Super Bowl.
We have our expert analysis in the house.
In the house.
Let's see if she goes with the Eagles
or the Chiefs.
Oh, swipey.
Which one? Ooh. Take a toy. Take a toy. Oh. Let's see who she
And
have.
her official pick, debut pick, and
camera.
she has picked
The Kansas City
Kansas
Chiefs.
City
The
Chiefs.
Chiefs. All right.
Smart girl.
If Mahomes does win his 4th Super Bowl and his 5th Super Bowl appearance, where do you rank him?
Second best.
Okay.
I still rank him number 2 as of right now.
After last year's Super Bowl, I had him at number 3. I put him above Peyton and everybody else, but I had him behind Montana and Brady.
Yeah.
If he wins this one, even if he doesn't win this one, I still may put him at number 2. We'll see how he plays in this Super Bowl, but
Right, but if he wins, I definitely think he
Goes
jumps
above
ahead
Montana.
of Montana.
yep. Still has a long way to go until he gets to Brady.
Not
Long way to go.
He might,
Long way to go.
but he's still young.
He's not
He
even
is
30.
young. Yeah.
So
We'll see.
we'll
how
see
he
what
does.
happens, because I know Brady went quite a while in between Super Bowls for a while.
If he plays
Yeah.
till he's 45,
Well, we'll see what happens.
which I don't think he will.
There's a difference between playing till you're 45 and playing well.
Right.
Just ask Brett Favre. All right, everyone, let us know who you think will win in the comments down below. And we'll see you next time.